For years we traveled the world in a Land Rover Defender. It took us through deserts, mountains and some of the most remote places we've ever been. But eventually we made a decision that surprised quite a few people. Some people loved it, but others were upset. And for some, it was a reason to unfollow us. We switched to Toyota, and ever since then, people keep asking us the same question. Why? So, after years of traveling with both of these vehicles, we thought it was time to answer the questions. What are the real differences and which one is actually better for overlanding when it comes to Land Rover versus Toyota? Before we get into that, we should probably introduce ourselves. We are Patrick and Orla, and together with our Labrador Louis, we've been traveling full-time for the past few years. What started as short trips slowly turned into something much bigger. And now we're about to begin our biggest adventure yet. Over the next year, we'll be overlanding all across North America. But before all of this, before the Hilux, before North America, it all started with a Land Rover. The Land Rover Defender felt like the perfect adventure vehicle. It's so iconic, and besides that, our initial plan was to do shorter trips in between work, so the Defender 90 made perfect sense. It was small, easy to park almost anywhere, and incredibly capable off-road. And that's exactly what we did. We started with shorter trips, and slowly those trips became longer. At some point, we decided to go on a bigger journey, and because this was the vehicle we had, we simply went for it. But once we started to travel longer, we also started to see a different side of it.
Camping life with a Defender 90.
Sitting in the front seat.
Sitting in the front seats. Enjoy!
And when you're living out of a small vehicle like this, those things start to matter. And over time, that starts to wear you down. Luckily, even with such a small vehicle, we still found a smart way to sleep inside. Thanks to a setup made by Tailgate Gear, the Defender became surprisingly practical.
So that's the good thing with our Defender 90. We can sleep in it. What we have to do is extend the platform. All right.
Being able to sleep inside the car was often a real advantage. One thing where Land Rover really stands out is its community. Defender drivers recognize each other, people wave, and when you meet another Land Rover owner on the road, you almost instantly become friends. You immediately feel part of something bigger, part of a community. And honestly, that's something we still sometimes miss with our Toyota. Compared to Toyota, the Defender is simply a more niche vehicle worldwide. And that does have consequences when it comes to finding spare parts and mechanics who really know how to work on it. At the same time, the Defender is still a relatively simple vehicle, which also means a lot of people can work on it. We also noticed that the Defender needed a bit more attention, a bit more maintenance, a bit more care. We had our fair share of issues along the way, but then again, every vehicle can break down. And in a strange way, those moments also became part of the adventure. One thing we don't miss from our Land Rover
Dat is vaak zo moeilijk, want Max, ik ben even jou mijn alleen. Dit is heel veel in mijn eentje gereisd. Want hij rijdt in mijn eentje als ik op zon. Ben jij de enige die van herinneren?
Now we can have conversations, listen to podcasts, and we have Apple CarPlay. So luxurious. But over time, those weren't the things that mattered most. It was the bigger picture. Life gave us the opportunity to do this full time. And of course we wanted to take it. Once traveling slowly turned into a full-time lifestyle. We weren't just looking for a vehicle to explore remote places with anymore. We were looking for a tiny home on wheels. And that's where the Defender 90 slowly started to feel too small. And that slowly led us to a difficult question. Was the Defender still the right vehicle for the kind of journeys we wanted to make? Eventually, we started looking at other options. And again, one vehicle kept coming back, the Toyota Hilux. So it was at this exact place in Turkey we said goodbye to our Defender. We bought a standard Hilux and rebuilt it, and slowly it turned into the tiny home on wheels we had been looking for. Then we took it across Africa and Europe, which meant we could put it to the test right away. And one thing we learned very quickly in Africa is just how common the Toyota Hilux really is. You see them everywhere, and there is a reason for that. They've built a reputation for being a reliable and indestructible car that never lets you down. But at the same time, the Defender is such a unique vehicle. It has so much character. It looks like adventure. So, which one do we personally prefer? For us, at this point in our lives, the Hilux simply fits better. It gives us more comfort, more living space, and for the kind of long distance travel we want to do now, it just makes more sense. But when it comes to the bigger question, which one is actually better for overlanding? A Land Rover Defender might need a bit more maintenance, but at the same time, it's mechanically simple, full of character, and capable of taking you almost anywhere. A Toyota Hilux, in our experience, is a bit more reliable, easier to support around the world, and more comfortable both on and off-road. So, maybe the real answer is this. The best overland vehicle is the one you actually go with, because in the end, the journey itself is what matters most.